Good morning, and thank you so much for joining me. What a beautiful day. Today is July 20th, 2021. I am your host, Caryn Lutz, CEO, founder, spiritual, transformational, motivational, mindset coach at On The Go Talent. And you could find me at onthegotalent.com or Caryn Lutz, CarynLutz.com. Welcome once again to another episode 25. And today is one of my favorite topics, dance. All things related dance this morning. And my journey through dance studios, competitions, college. I'm going to try to get it all in here for you. But first, I wanted to say a happy birthday to one of my first dance teachers, Anna Marie. But before we go into that, I often get the question asked, what type of dance do you do? So I was very blessed to be exposed to so many genres of dance and styles, including ballroom. So to answer that question properly, tap, jazz, ballet, point, hip hop, it used to be disco, funk, novelty, specialty, acro. I was a self-taught gymnast. So you name it, there are so many genres that I was exposed to. And then later on, in my 20s, I was exposed to some ballroom dancing, but all genres. And my favorites, I would definitely have to say tap, lyrical, jazz, musical theater. Forgot about that. Okay, so let me take you through my journey. I started my dance career because my mom was taking me in for, there was something wrong with my hips. To tell you, this is the honest to God's truth. There was something wrong with my hips, and they tried to actually put me in hip braces. So little did I know that they put me in dance, and dance would become a career for me. So that is definitely how I started. But I was a mover from the womb. My poor mother went through 30 hours of labor with me. So I started out at Anna Marie School of Dance. So I want to thank her, and I want to thank the teachers there. As I mentioned before, it's her birthday today. And we actually had the opportunity to have a nice long phone conversation a few months back. So that was such a blessing. So if she gets to watch this later, know that meant a lot to me. While I was there, I was studying under the direction of Anna. I had Bernie, Kim for ballet and lyrical, Marianne Merrill, God rest her soul. She was the sweetest woman ever. And Sharon for modeling. So shout out to all of you. I was there for several years. And in fact, one of my favorite moments was being the spokesperson, I believe at age 11. Maybe, for when we were invited to speak about, we were on the Good Morning America segment for the Pennsylvania segment for advertising for the studio. I think it was a big celebration of the Follies that year. So that was super cool. And if anybody has the video, please share. And hello to my beautiful friends who saved the turtles on the beach. So yes, I was there for a while, and one of the funny stories that I'm going to share, because it is my truth. So there were several students while taking classes at that studio that would study with me on the side. So could you imagine back when I was 9 or 10 coaching other students and giving them competition hints and that. So I would choreograph a lot of my routines and a lot of my solos. And as Anna would tell you herself, I did it all. We even talked about that a few months ago. And I am, motivated and a go-getter. So it meant a lot. And I still want to do it all, because that's definitely part of my personality, my extrovert personality. But I want to thank them all. So I moved on to David Blight School of Dance, which changed my life completely. David Blight was a wonderful man, a wonderful tap dancer. Oh my goodness. I judge competitions all over, and I can't find anything close to his style. So anybody who was exposed to his style or tries to mimic the Hoofer style, keep it going because it's fascinating. So that was one of the biggest takeaways that I've received from David Blight, and he is definitely one of my guardian angels for sure. When I entered the studio, I was about 11 or 12, and I also had Candace, who's now the current owner, and she taught me discipline and so much, just, about life and being disciplined and how to carry yourself. So we learned a lot of the Rockette style and a lot of the Rockette, technique, and that was fascinating to me because I was more of a jazz soul, and it took me a while to embrace that style, but so glad that I was exposed to that. And I have to shout out another angel, Miss Chrissy. When I first walked into that studio and I tried to be funky because like I just mentioned, and I have to laugh, and she's probably laughing from above. It took me a while to break things down. I'm more of the disco girl. I wasn't like the hip hop. So I want to thank her for exposing me. But one of my favorite experiences with that studio, we got to perform for the Miss America parade. Funny story. I remember that boardwalk, and we had tap shoes on. I remember just starting that dance with a half a tap shoe. My tap shoe got stuck in the wooden frame, and I had to dance that whole parade with a half a tap shoe on. So that is one of the memories that I share with that studio. So I was there until I graduated high school, and luckily enough, I was invited back and started judging the competition that is still around today. So shout out to Talent Olympics, that they have their competitions twice a year. If you're just joining me, thank you so much for watching. I'm so blessed to share my journey through the dance studios, and I'm going to go up until about 2008, so hold on tight. Also during this time in high school, I was also invited. I wanted to study ballet more because unfortunately at the first studio I was at, I really didn't get a lot of ballet and technique training, which is so vital and so crucial to a dancer's repertoire. That's where it all started. So shout out to Phyllis Colombo. She owned Hazelton Studio of Dance, which is now Drama in Motion. So hi, Joelle, as well. And if you get to watch this, she gave me the opportunity to teach my first little group, and shout out to them. I'll have to tag you all. And it was so much fun because I was able to, I mean, this is during my high school years. I remember Friday nights, that was my night. I would go into the studio, I was there, I got to do my thing, and I would grab either a Jimmy's hot dog or some goodies from Carmen's bakery next door. So I'm just sharing part of my life with you. And that was back in Hazelton, Pennsylvania. So Friday nights, that's what I would spend teaching, and then I would, head over because it was right by the football stadium. So that was during my high school years. So Phyllis, want to shout out to you because you gave me a lot. And as you say, everything comes from Tondu, and I share that with my critiques all of the time. So Phyllis also had a competition that I was able to judge for. But funny story, and one of my favorite experiences there was when her daughters and I, Connie and Joelle, and I'm going to have to tag you, and if you find the video, please share it with me. We did the musical theater pantomime number to Easy Street. They dropped me right in the middle of the number, but somehow I dropped and I bounced right back up, which was hilarious, but it hurt afterward. I don't even know, but we kept going, and our showmanship was fantastic. So I hope I get to see that routine once again. So thank you so much for all of that, experience, because it did touch my heart. And so everybody so far that I mentioned, I just wanted to, thank you for that. Okay, so I had the opportunity also to teach some master classes for some friends. East Coast Dance Connection, Leanne, if you're watching, thank you. And I just want to give you, a shout out. Also, Steps in Time. So Kathleen and Robin, who's the former owner of that. So while I was in college, I had the opportunity to teach tap to high school students there. And that was pretty awesome as well. And I just wanted to say thank you very much for that. Fabergé Follies. Thank you, Miss Fabergé. I got to teach for her a few master classes. Let's see. And after graduation, Center Stage Studio. So Miss Caryn, if you're watching, thank you very much. I got to teach for her for a little while before I moved to Hoboken, New Jersey to try my adventure up there. After my adventure there, I ended up coming home, like I mentioned in another episode, and obtaining my master's degree. So, let's see. Yes, so I was able to teach at the YMCA, and I had several dance, hip-hop, fitness classes, and that was a great time too. So thank you, Mary Jo, for that opportunity. After there, I would travel, actually during the same time, I would travel an hour and a half to teach tap and lyrical. Like I mentioned earlier, they are two of my strengths, to Miss Cindy's School of Dance in Quakertown. So she's awesome, and I love teaching with her as well. And sometimes her and I got to judge dance competitions. So what a shout out to Gloria Dillon, who gave me one of the first opportunities I had to start my judging career. Performing Arts Alliance. Also, Tracy's Academy. So Tracy and I were David Blight dancers way back, and we had a wonderful time together. And during that time that I was teaching, unfortunately, David Blight had passed away. So it really connected us together even more so. But here's the cool ending to this part, but really the beginning. So growing up, you see, I had all the experiences with the dance studios, but there was never dance offered in the school. And that really bothered me. It really bothered me because dance changed my life. It changes you. It gives you opportunity. It disciplines you, academically and physically, emotionally, all around, mind, body, spirit. So I was such an advocate. And like I mentioned on another episode, I had that opportunity and that scholarship to attend the Pennsylvania Governor's School for the Performing Arts, which changed my life even more. Well, at the Hazleton Area School District, I was a sub there in between my moves from 2003 to 2008. So I mentioned that I had a permanent substitute teaching position. And during that time, and I have to shout out to Kristen Evans. So her and I actually started the dance team and piloted the dance program there. And I don't know if many of you know that, but I went to college for dance, and my background is pretty broad, and I'm very, very blessed to say that, because I really did take dance seriously. I went to Cedar Crest College and obtained 2 bachelors, dual bachelors, and one is in dance with dance therapy, dance education, dance performance. So like Anna Marie mentioned, I did it all. But that was one of my favorite parts to being a substitute teacher, because I was like, well, I'm not permanent, but I got to bring the arts. And I have to shout out, because this is even further into this, is to Sue Roslepage. While I was permanent substitute teaching, her and I really connected because she found out that I had a degree in dance. But I'm going to talk about that all in another episode, because there's so much more that I'm going to be bringing to light with this all. So as you can see, dance is a passion. of mine. But I did want to say that back in 2008, while I was at Job Corps, I opened Caryn's Creative Arts Center. But unfortunately, I had to move and close that, per se, because they sold the building. But that led me on a whole different journey and a whole different educational journey, which I will talk about very soon, and I'm very, very excited. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed listening to my spiel about dance and the gratitude that I have for all the teachers. And that's one of the things that you'll find with me. And I wanted to mention also to Sherry, and I just remembered this, to Sherry O'Donnell, who also has all that dancing too. I talked to her as well. She was one of my very first dance teachers back at Anna Marie, prior to her opening her own studio. And then, as I was mentioning, at the high school, when I was able to start the program there, the dance program, that her daughter was one of the students there, who is like now an attorney, and like that's so amazing. So it's really cool to see where life takes you. But I wanted to mention that too, and I have gratitude. But the last thing I'll mention is David Blight. David Blight nicknamed me the Illusionist, and what the heck does that mean? So if any of you ever watched what I do in dance, and it's the move that is actually like an arabesque penché. We'll use it for dancer terms, but it's the move that I go underneath my leg. So that's something that I taught myself, and they tried to get me to teach to others, but I don't know. So I'm the illusionist. So when I refer to that, you'll know what I'm talking about. I have some fun projects coming up and some big releases coming up, so I can't wait to share them with you all. And if you are just joining me, see, I get so excited. It's the ADHD and everything comes out all at once. Thank you so much. You could find my information in my schedule, and if you're interested in booking me for one of your events for dance, musical theater, voice, please reach out and join my email list at Caryn Lutz, CarynLutz.com. Once the pop-up comes on, hit subscribe, and you can find out my latest updates. So I'm going to end in prayer. Dear God, thank you so much once again, as always, for this incredibly beautiful day, this beautiful life, this beautiful love that I feel, the beautiful energy, the beautiful creations that you are giving to me. And my ears are ringing, so I hope I'm affecting somebody's life and that you're talking positively and for good. Please bless anyone watching that will tune in later. I thank you so much for being here with me today. As always, have a wonderful day, and God bless.